Hello and welcome. This is the first of many streams with Crypto Invest TV. Here at Crypto Invest TV, we strive to help answer your questions about cryptos to the best of our ability. Though we are not financial advisors, we will bring what we understand to be accurate information about crypto and updates. In the event that we have made a mistake, please feel free to let us know, as we want to create an open investment community. You can also join our Discord in the link below or in the chat. Today we will be discussing Bitcoin, Cardano, and Basic Attention Coin, or token, otherwise known as BAT. First, let's start with the prices of each and what this might mean for the future of crypto. And so, first thing that we're going to look at here is Bitcoin, and currently it looks like we're sitting at 57,420 to 430. And if we go out about 1 hour, I'm going to scroll out. So it looks like for the past 5 days, we've bounced between 60,000 and 50,000, and now we're hovering currently right now between about 56 and 58. The reason why it is that Bitcoin is so important is you could kind of say it is a segue to the to all cryptocurrencies. And with that, think about it. If all these other cryptocurrencies started off and they're just at the marks that they're at right now, realistically, we can see that we wouldn't even really pay attention to it. Just like how there's some stocks that kind of are completely ignored because they're just such a low number and no one really knows about them or anything. And so Bitcoin has basically made it to where everyone knows at least what crypto is. They're like, "Oh, you're talking about Bitcoin, right?" That's the general response of people whenever you try to bring up crypto. If they don't understand what you're talking about, you say Bitcoin, and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay," and then you continue your conversation from there. And so you could say that really it's a segue into other cryptos, and that's the reason why it is that I would say it's one of the more important cryptos. I wouldn't say that it's the most valuable, even though it's sitting where it's at. I think the real value is in the cryptos that people can actually get into. I don't think that people want a part of something. They want to have a whole of something, right? You don't want 1% of Bitcoin, right? You would like to have a whole one. And so with that, that's what ends up making that difference. Next, we're going to go ahead and check out Cardano. It's currently sitting at $1.19, and it looks like its high thus far was 21 cents, and it's currently sitting at 19. And we can see just a few days ago it was at $1.28. And this would give some alarm to some paper hands, but in reality, you have to look at where it was at in general. So we look at near the beginning of the year, and they're sitting at a low of 28 cents. And then you look here at the 27th of February, and they're at $1.48, almost $1.49. And so in a 2-month span, almost, not even that, a 1-month span actually, they've gained over $1 in price. And they, as you can see from there to here, that they've really been holding on to that dollar. They dipped down just a little bit, over here, after their highest over here. But then you see, it just doesn't really want to go below that dollar mark. That's not to say that it couldn't happen. It definitely could. But you know, there's a reason why it's not, and it's because it has that support. And Cardano is it's a blockchain as well. It's just like a lot of the other blockchains that you see out there. And it's just supposed to be not necessarily a concept, but more of just more of trying to take that decentralized concept and really expand upon it, right? So we have decentralized currency. When I go to talk about basic attention token, we're going to start talking about decentralized internet browsing essentially. And so there's each one of these companies, they're trying to take these steps to not necessarily make it to where the government's no longer needed, but more so that the government's not nearly as involved in our private affairs, right? You don't want the government being involved with your money to a certain extent. We would like to have insurances and coverages in the event that things happen, right? Just like if your bank was to burn down where you kept all your money out, or they went out of business, your money is insured, right, by the FNID or whatever it is. And so you know once they start to establish those assurances on cryptocurrencies, that's when you'll really begin to see those differences, because you know it will become more reliable to people. People will trust in it more, and you can see even now that there's really been there's a movement towards crypto. And so the next one that we're going to move on to before we continue on the reason why crypto is going to be so important for our future. I'm going to go ahead and go over here to the basic attention token and put it on its 1 minute chart. And so we see it looks like at about 4 o'clock, something like that. No, somewhere, but yeah, between 5 and 6. My apologies. We're at about 14 cents. Looks like for the day, essentially, we are looking, yeah, still at a high about 14, almost 15 cents, and then it's just kind of been ping ponging through through those numbers all the way down to about $1.05. So it almost is like, wow, at what is that, 2.15? Had you have bought, somewhere in 2.15, you could have gotten it somewhere between $1.07, $1.08. Right now, you'd be up about 6 cents, 5, 6 cents, per token that you would have bought, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but you throw in $50, and then you know you're getting 6 cents times 50, and then it's a little bit different than just a little bit of change. And even though it's a small quantity, just imagine over time when you can. It's just like how stocks are. The more you put in over time, so long as it keeps going up, the better it is for you. And the reason why I bring up the importance about basic attention token is that it is what you use on it is like the native coin for Brave, and Brave is essentially a decentralized browser, right? In layman's terms, it's more sophisticated than that, but just to save time, I'm just gonna say, it's basically like it's like having a VPN, but only through your web browser. And so it just protects your information from all the people that or all the websites that you go and you visit. The websites that you go and visit, they track your data in various ways, right? So they they do various things, right? So if I go and I go to what it shows me, I can see right now on Brave, for instance, while I'm in YouTube, it's blocked 95 different things, and that's 95 trackers and ads that were blocked while I was trying to do this. And what it is that each website does those kind of things, right? So cross-site cookies, scripts can get blocked, connections upgraded to so you can only use addresses that would have the HTTPS on it, so like it's more secure. But essentially, what it is it's just protecting your information. And then what basic attention token is they have advertisers advertise with them specifically, and then they give the information to the advertisers that are bought in with them. But the difference between them, the difference between Brave and say Facebook would be, Facebook, when it comes to their advertisers, they just sell your information, right? It doesn't really, they don't really care about like your privacy per se. There was a whole huge controversy. I'm not really going to get into it, but just for layman's terms, Facebook or any of the other social media websites, or any websites for that matter, they sell your information to third parties for pennies on the dollar, right? And that's kind of how they make their money, on top of advertisers getting to see your information, so that way they can better advertise to you to try and make a sale. And so what they're doing is they're blocking all that, so that way um, the advertisers are still getting that critical information that they need, but they're not getting the information that you know would kind of be more personal, right? So they're just knowing, all right, this person in this region or this state saw your ad and they liked it, in the sense of like they clicked on it and then they, moved forward, right? So with that, um, it's just giving them generalized information, so that way they can kind of try to crunch their own numbers to see whether their ad is effective or not. So they're getting to see the effectiveness of their ad without, getting to see, information that they don't necessarily need in order to, see if their ad is successful or not. And so with that, you'll you'll protect yourself from your information being looked at, irregardless of if it matters to you or not. It's protected to you, and they will advertise to you in a way. So, like, if you're on your computer, for instance, and you're using the browser on your computer, it's going to pop up, on Windows 10, for example, pop up in the corner like any notification. It'll show you the advertisement of like, crypto.com, get 2% cash back, things like that, right? And then you can either click on it and then actually go to see what it is if it's something that you're actually interested in, or you just hit close and then that's it. And what they do is they actually they pay you in basic attention tokens for doing that, right? So I couldn't tell you what the exact numbers are for what they pay you per ad, because I imagine there's probably some kind of algorithm that determines your like how you're paid, right? And so I imagine you probably get, if say the token is at a really low mark, right? It's at a low number, then it'll probably give you like a higher percentage of token per ad view, right? Versus when it gets to a higher number, it might give you a little bit less. But let's just say that they give you zero point 0.1 of a token per ad view, right? So after you view 10 ads from them, then you would get one whole token. And then let's say the token's sitting at what it is right now, $1.1364. So you'd get $1.13, just as an example. I'm not saying that that's exactly how it works. I'm just giving you as an example as to what it does. So you see their ad, you can either go and click on it and view it, or close it out and continue on with your business, and then they're going to pay you some kind of percentage of a BAT token for that. And then over time it accumulates throughout the month. And if you have your if you're fully incorporated with Brave, you'll have a Uphold account that you can transfer, that will automatically transfer the reward tokens that you get from using your web browser over to your Uphold exchange. And then you can actually interact with your token, whether you wanted to just, I guess, cash it out and put it into your bank, or, if you wanted to trade it for other cryptos that they have on Uphold, things like that. Uphold is also doing their own, I guess you'd say, kind of like a debit card almost for like your crypto accounts. And so, that's something to really look forward to down the road, because I know that it's implemented, but it's not like it's really up and going right now. But I imagine soon enough it will really be rolling, just like like the Visa card, the crypto card, with crypto.com and Visa. It's going to be pretty much just like that. And so you'll be able to use that to interact with the world in the regards of your your purchases, just like you would anywhere else with the regular currencies that you have. And so that's what just it's just it makes it to where if it's a decentralized currency and you're in full control of it, then you'll be able to enjoy things in a more personal way, so to speak, right? So you know that this is your money, irregardless of what the government's doing. They can't really do anything about they can't influence that. It's outside the influence of the government. um some say that uh cryptos are influenced by like how the stock market is influenced, but really when you look at it, you could see like a really terrible day for the stock markets, and then see that the crypto markets are either doing just fine, good, or really not bad at all in comparison, right? Like 0.5% or something like that in comparison to like the 3 or 4 or 5% over at the stock markets, right? And so you just don't see that same type of reflection in comparison to like when you see Bitcoin drop, right? Then you start to see you see other coins that are um, that follow Bitcoin. They'll do the same thing because it's just like how it is with stocks. There's certain stocks that kind of follow each other, right? And so if one stock starts to go down, you know that there's that one stock that also always follows it when it goes down. Um, and so when you think about it, using Brave, it's it's a good way to start kind of being able to use your internet in a more private way, so that way like you're not really like no one's really spying on you per se when you're browsing the internet. And then on top of that, you get paid in small quantities that you can actually, use in the real world and interact with, right? It's not like it's just a coin where they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you our own coin, but then like technically like their coin doesn't actually have any value. It's just what they use like in-game currency coins, right? And then after you've played or so many games or done so many surveys XYZ, they'll you rack up so many of their coins or their points or whatever they call it, and then they'll actually transfer that into like an actual asset, like Bitcoin or something like that, and then you can then take that and send that to your wallet, right? And it's just like though I guess if you work really hard, I guess you could get a little something out of it. I think this is a much better means of doing it. And as as this expands, I mean, you just imagine if you were to go into Brave right now and you go ahead and you set everything up, and then you buy the 25 you know the 25 tokens that are necessary to like have your active Uphold account, right? um with your active like Uphold account with Brave, you can activate an Uphold account separate from it. It's just that it's for like the Brave Uphold interaction, I guess you would say. The best thing to do would be to go to Brave itself, and then they can explain in better detail as to how everything works for them. But you put in, you get your 25 tokens. And so when I got in at I don't remember what it was. It was like something between like 50 and 60 cents or something like that. And so I think like at the end of the day, like I put in like $15, and that was 25 tokens or something like that. I can't remember the exact number that I specifically got in on the basic attention token, but it was it was under $1 and it was under 80 cents. I know that. Um, because I remember I was so surprised when I saw it, get up to 70 cents and then 80 cents. And then, I was just like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So, I put in like something like 10 or $15, like a month ago. And now I'm sitting at like, over $25. And I've bought some more since then. But I'm just saying, like, for the one that was specifically for my Brave, out of that 25 that I put in there. Now since it's at over $1, I actually have $25 in BAT tokens, even though that's obviously not what I put in to begin with. And so, it's just like kind of like this really easy way for people to almost, not like it's like a hurt-free kind of investing, right? If you can spare, right now it's like, it's it's only $1.13, and I imagine that they might change the value or the amount that you'd have to use in order to like make that connection to get your rewards and stuff. And so they might drop it down to where like you only have to do 10, and then once this is at like $10, they might make it to where like you only have to buy one or something like that, because they don't want to make it to where it becomes more difficult for people to be able to get in. And then they just might make it to where they do away with the whole buy-in part completely, because the coin is stable, or the token has stabilized itself so much to a point to where it's no longer really necessary to have that. That might be one of their tactics as to why they were doing it to begin with. I don't actually know. um I don't work with them. I'm not a part of them, right? And so that's just what it is. But I think that it's a fantastic crypto. I think I think ADA, BAT, uh, XLM, which is the Stellar Lumens. I think those are a good one. Of course, everyone knows about Doge. Uh, there's plenty of good ones out there. The Ox coin, right? Everyone that's involved with cryptos already, they remember when it had begun to break out, and everyone was like, whoa, look at this. If anyone knows anything about Raven coin, they actually were at like 2 cents, right? 2 cents, and then they broke out, and they're holding steady at something like they're still over the 10 cent mark. I know that. But Ozcoin, the Ox Zill's a good one. Digi, there for a while it looked like it was really following Doge, or like Doge was following Digi, but right now, I mean, Digi's sitting at 7.5, and Doge is at 8, or Doge is at 5.4. I don't know why I said 8. But you know, I would say all those are good coins. Like I was saying about the Raven coin, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one up real quick. Yeah, so right now it's sitting at 19.7. But so if we pull out, I'll go. So yeah, you look back at like the lowest point that they had on the 26th. They are at a penny and under a penny and a half, right? And then they started building back up, right? And they started really fighting it here at 7 cents, and then out of nowhere, right, it just goes all the way up to almost 30 cents, and it trickles back down to 12 cents. But I mean, as you see, it's gonna work its way back up. And so I mean, I think that it's something that people might want to look into, down the road. Um, it would probably be something good to get into right now. It's still relatively cheap in comparison to some of the other things. Um, but it's just like, no one really ever, a lot of people might not even know about it, but they their volume, the 24-hour volume, the market cap, all of it's just exploded randomly, or not necessarily randomly, but what would seem like out of nowhere. And the people that were in at a penny and then less than a penny, I'm sure they're probably pretty happy right now. Because you imagine, you had a few $1,000s invested in this, back when it was under a penny, I mean, you'd be sitting, I mean, you're not going to be like some kind of millionaire or billionaire or anything like that, but hey, if you have any pressing bills, that I imagine that might help cover some of it, right? If you wanted to pull a little bit out in the event that you had some kind of emergency, it would almost be like that random saving grace for yourself, right? And as these companies begin to be better known and they expand, we'll see those differences. We'll see how a lot of these cryptos will begin to really just blow up. It'll just I think it's really going to blow our minds down the road, the kind of differences that we're going to see across the world. I mean, really and honestly, we're going to see some major differences that a lot of people mm, might not be prepared for right now, but I think it's something that people should be prepared for, right? Something that people should be excited for. But I'll just go ahead and let the ticker go on. I'm going to go ahead and put it on Bitcoin for right now, and then we'll be right back. Looks like we were seeing quite the sell-off there for a second. It was like what, 5 minutes of nothing but a lot of sell orders. And then you got your two candles right there. Then here's our next candle. Let's go over the depth chart. So, I'd say things are looking pretty solid, honestly. Got a lot more stair steps on buying than we do on selling, and that's always good. This is essentially just the buy to sell ratio. So the higher that you see these steps, the higher this incline is for the green, the you know the better support we have, right? And so right here it's like you can see that at almost 58, 83 approximately coins would be sold, and then approximately at the same it would be at like 57,000, 135 coins would be bought in total, right? Um, so it's always important whenever you're looking at any investments, always make sure to check out the depth chart, because it's always important to check those things out. In other news, on InsideBitcoins.com, there was an article about Indian crypto exchanges seeking ways to address the regulatory issues. So, according to the Economic Times, Indian crypto exchanges are planning to joint, jointly reach out to the top decision, decision makers like the finance minister and the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, this week. They plan to engage the government on how it can impose fair regulations for digital currencies, address risks associated with them. The group would also like to discuss uh, the menace of cryptocurrency, money laundering, and industry's environmental impact and the threat of crypto assets bring to the financial stability of the rupee. Um, and the article goes on to say, talk about those things. They, they intend to present, you know, something to them to try and essentially get India to agree with them about, about cryptos. Um, I'd also seen that, you know, it looks like people are really starting to use up the crypto card with Visa. Visa's been rolling out a program that permits payments to be settled in cryptocurrencies for the USD, replacing the dollars uh, role in processing such transactions. The innovative uh, partnership between Visa and Crypto.com was first reported by Reuters on Monday. Consumers could previously use Crypto.com Visa card to pay for goods and services, but those payments had to be settled with the US dollar. The arrangement added a costly and complicated step in the process of settling payments for so called crypto natives. Visa's solution permit Crypto.com Visa payments to be settled via the USDC. Card carriers previously had to convert cryptos held in digital wallets to USD to make a payment. Visa's latest initiative removes the crypto to fiat conversion process. This is on thestreet.com. But essentially, plenty of people are starting to use their crypto Visa cards to, just make purchases entirely just with their cryptos, just like how you can with, or how you will be able to with Uphold. Uphold allows you to do those same things, or well, they will allow you to do those same things, I should say. Um, they they whenever they've gotten everything finalized for themselves, then they will have that in order just like crypto.com, and then you'll be able to essentially access your Cardano, Bitcoin, your Stellar Lumens, all that. You'll be able to, you know, go ahead and use that instead, right? And so that's pretty cool that we would be able to just use a crypto account, and then basically in the moment that you're making the transaction is, basically when they'll be making that transaction based on the market value. Um, so that way, I guess us as people, I mean, provided you have to have at least something in the account. You can't have like $5 in there and then try to go and make a $5 purchase and then be upset if it potentially declines. You want to make sure that you would always have more in there than what I guess the volatility of the coin would be, right? But let's say you have thousands upon thousands of a coin that went up, and you got let's just say that you were investor, you were invested in it, and now you're sitting at like a $20,000 gain on one of your coins. You can then go and use that to make your purchases with to make purchases with, of physical items, make purchases with services, pay bills, all other kinds of things. And so you know we're really seeing we're really seeing that difference when it comes to crypto. We're gonna see things just really change for the better, in my opinion. You know, I there's a lot of coins on here on Binance that I don't necessarily know about, right? So like I wouldn't know anything about this. It doesn't really look like it's something that I would probably bother with. I have no idea what it's even about. Um, you know, it's just you can see kind of like how different it is for some coins that aren't the same. Whoa, this looks like it's been having a lot of activity. It's only in the millions, but for U.S. currency, but it's in the it's for volume on that 65 looks like 65 billion coins for BitTorrent has been processed today. Um, you know, it's at less than a cent. It's sitting at a 3/10 of a cent. So I mean, you could just only imagine. This is oh wow. So we look at what they were doing last. I mean, they've actually kind of blown up really in comparison to back then. So it's definitely something curious in my mind. It's something I would like to keep an eye on. I mean, it's nothing right now because, like I said, it's still under a penny. But these are the kind of things that you have to look at. Just imagine if you threw $10 in this, and then this did go to a penny, or let's say it even went to, let's say it hit dogecoin territory. Then you're gonna be like, oh man, now I feel kind of like, like how all those other people felt, when dogecoin went up, really high, right? And this is sitting at under a cent, so you can imagine that if it breaks through, a penny and can maintain it, you might see something, happen with that. Let's see. We look at Beam, and you can see that over the course of a year, it's doing well. I mean, it almost seems like we can click on a lot of these and they're all going to tell us the same thing. They're all doing better than what they was when they started out. And so that really goes to tell you something, because people are like, oh, well, I don't know if investing in cryptocurrencies is really a good idea. Well, here's the thing. You sit here and we go down the line of all these random ones, right? Because I'm not even choosing. I'm just clicking on a random one and looking at it. And, I have no knowledge of what it is that I'll be clicking on, or I haven't done any digging on any of these, but I'm just trying to give the case for crypto itself, which is that it almost seems like how everyone was saying about the stock market, right? It just seemed like it didn't matter what you bought, you were gonna do good on. That's kind of what we're seeing with cryptos right now. No matter what you're buying, it's like you're gonna see something good. I mean, this one was sitting at under a penny. You know, last year. Is it sitting at half a penny back in October of last year, and now it hit a high a couple days ago of 5 cents, and right now it's sitting at 4 cents, and it's just kind of like, why is it that if you're not invested, you wouldn't want to get invested? It's just, you know, for example, even though, some will say it's probably not the best, it's not the best uh, exchange platform to use, but Uphold is something that is relatively fast in the regards of being able to just go ahead and start doing making those purchases. If you just wanted to buy instantly, and then like you wanted to be able to buy within the next 15 minutes, and then like you know you can worry about setting up your bank account later. I mean, that's essentially something that you can do with Uphold. Uphold, you could literally just take one of your debit cards, attach it to the account, and just be like, all right, I'm gonna buy $10 of Bitcoin today, right? The reason why I say it's not necessarily one of the best um, one of the best ones to go with is just because you know it right now it's kind of like it's in its infancy, so it's not like I think it only has like 32 different cryptocurrencies, but they're intending to do a lot with it, but I think 31, right? So like they have ZRX, AAVE, Balancer, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Zero, Cardano, Chainlink, Compound, Cosmos, Dash, Decreed, Digibyte, Dogecoin, EOS, Ether, Filecoin, IOTA, Litecoin, Maker. I mean, they have a decent amount. It's just that I guess when you compare it to a lot of the other exchanges, it really doesn't have much. But this, I think, Uphold isn't something that's like been around for a super long time in comparison to like Binance, right? And so I think it seems like every week or every other week, I'm seeing them add a new cryptocurrency to their exchange. I know that they added Uniswap, they added Maker, IOTA, Decreed, um, the Aave. They added all those in just recently because they weren't there before. I remember there was only like 28 on here, a couple weeks ago, and then before that there was less than that, and I just don't really remember the numbers because I mean I'm not really following it, right? And then they have they do have utility coins on here like Batcoin, Creed, or not Batcoin, Bat Token, Creed, uh, Orchid, Storm, Universal Carbon. The thing is like so Storm, for instance, it's currently not available in my region, which is in the central southern region, and that's just I mean it's unfortunate, but as their platform builds, we'll we'll see, just like cause like just like how it is with Binance. Binance isn't available in Texas and New York. There might be some other ones, but I know those two. Binance US doesn't work for those two. And I could be wrong. Something could have changed since the last time I saw, but last I looked, Binance didn't work for those two states. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off for here, guys. We'll be back on again later this week, and we'll just continue to go from there. Everyone have a great one. If you're watching this stream afterwards, just enjoy. Uh, we'll have many things to come down the road. Have a good one.